Dane here, coming at you with vlog number 2. This morning I'm getting out and doing a little bit of running. I've been up since 6 a.m. doing some taxes. Got to finalize that. If you'll notice, I am rocking a long sleeve shirt. You might ask yourself, what's going on? It's March in Texas. Well, it's like 45 degrees out here, just a bit nipply. So, gonna get the heart rate up, gonna do a little bit of running, and I'll check back in with you later. Just finished the run. It was a high intensity interval workout, about 13 minutes, running for 30 seconds, sprinting, and then walking for 15. I've been doing some high intensity workouts lately. They're killing me. But if they didn't hurt, then they wouldn't be effective. Just walking down the lane now. Check back in with you later. All right, heading into town. Gonna do the chicken run today. Gotta get the welded wire and all that other stuff. So let's go. All right, just headed into town right here in my trusty steed, Virginia. Color Virginia, because I bought her from a guy who drove her here from Virginia. It's a 1985 F-150, 6-cylinder, not the propane one, that would be tits. She runs on gasoline. Just headed down the country roads here, going into town, building my chicken run today, getting some welded wire for the fence, some T-posts, some clips. I might even stop by the HEB. I'm doing a short run. Well, short. It's at least 50 feet by 10 feet. So they'll have plenty of room to run before we let them range freely. Free range, if you will. We're using one of the shop walls, the exterior shop walls, for one of the permanent runs. And then there's a fence that my neighbors put up that I'm gonna attach to for the other wire. So they should be pretty well secured. And then I'm building a chicken coop. So right now, just enjoy the journey into Taylor. We'll see you later. Taylor, we're first stop, Tractor Supply, getting the fence stuff. Let's roll. Just a quick pop in at Tractor there. Had to get the T-post clips for the wire. Headed to the grocery store. Just finished at HEB, heading to McCoy's now. So get this, I was behind some guy in line, older fella, and he was buying about 10 things of lighter fluid. No charcoal, 20 packets or 40 packets of Kool-Aid, dog food, and Swisher Sweets. What's that about? What do you need that much lighter fluid for? I don't know. McCoy's. Here it is. Okay, I'm finished with McCoy's. Gonna roll this window down. It's getting pretty hot. I'm going home. See you then. Typically go into town once a week. That's my goal, but it usually turns into 3-4 times a week, sometimes multiple times a day. But it's nice, we're only about 5 miles south of town, so it's a pretty easy drive, not a big deal. Virginia loves getting out. Sometimes I have to take the old NV, which you haven't seen yet. Gotta stop off and get the mail. Then I'm gonna have some lunch. And then it's go time in that chicken run. Alright, it's fence time. I got all my supplies laid out. I'm going to start laying in some fence. I'm going to do a little bit of time lapses so you guys can see it. Fair warning, I will tell you, this is my very first chicken run, very first fence build. I'm a firm believer that you can't learn anything unless you make mistakes. So mistakes will be made. I know that. I welcome it. That means I learn from it. So if you have anything that you would recommend I do differently, I will absolutely take the advice. However, maybe a little bit too late to fix it after I post this, so we'll see. But bear with me as I build my first fence. Today's a perfect example. No job's complete without multiple trips into town, putting this fence up, attaching it to my neighbor's existing fence, and I'm doing it opposite of the way you're supposed to. So the fence clips I got work perfect when the T-posts and the fence are lined up the exact way they're supposed to be. The fence is supposed to be on the T, or the cross part of the T-post, which is the horizontal part. The vertical part is supposed to be facing backwards. You're supposed to just attach the fence because it wraps around the back end of the T-post onto the fence. However, since I'm doing it backward, it doesn't really work like that. So I gotta think of a different solution. Thankfully, I'm just keeping chickens in during the day, and really only for a couple of months until they get used to free ranging, and then I'll let them out during the day. But it'll just be a little extra barrier at night specifically, so none of the coyotes get in or potentially any skunks around or anything like that. But they'll be locked up in the coop at night. So I'm not super worried about the integrity of this fence other than keeping them in while they're still young, because they need to go outside probably next week, the next week and a half. So here we go back into McCoy's. Okay, trip number 2 was a success. In this scenario, I often, if I am smart enough to think about it, buy 3 or 4 different solutions and then return whichever ones don't work the best. So that's what I did this time, and we'll see how it goes. The solution I found is twofold. Electric fence wire, cut it to make little ties, hold the fence with the other fence. Threefold, technically. Aluminum, large gauge aluminum ties. And these what do they call them? Hog ties? I don't know. These are pretty neat. Got these pliers. You fence guys, I'm sure you'll know what I'm talking about, but you put the barbs, the hog barbs, what do you want to call them, in the pliers right here. You just crank her down. Holds her together. This guy's keeping watch. Laura decided to do something today. Say hello, Jack. Got my partner in crime here. We're gonna really kick some ass on this fence now, right, bud? Let's do it. Much done for the day. Didn't quite get it finished because Laura told me about this sweet ass alternative to concrete, because I don't want these necessarily to be permanent, these posts that I'm putting in for the gate. The idea is for the chickens to free range after they're big enough to do so. Concrete kind of would have just been too permanent, but there's this foam alternative that expands in the hole. It's $9 at Lowe's, so I'm going to get a bag tomorrow so I can set the gate post. That needs to be a little bit more rigid than just the latch post. The latch post I just dug into the ground about 16 inches and filled it back with the clay, and it should be just fine. Let me walk you through. I've got everything finished out here, as you saw, but it should be a nice little run for these chicks. Nothing should be able to get through there. However, burrowing underneath is another story. I don't know, but I think we'll find out. Take a gander. It's gonna be a pretty nice chicken run. All right, well, thanks for joining me today. I've got to go edit this thing so I can post it. Before I do that, I gotta water the tomatoes and then go edit. So, hope you enjoy it. If you like what you saw, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment below, find me on Instagram at Gudde. Let me make you a piece of furniture. Who knows? Thanks for coming along.